Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Welcome to AC to Combatives. This is Coach Kurt. First of all, I want to start with saying thank you if you are a subscriber of my channel. I know it's a very small niche channel, and I'm far from being any kind of guru or master in martial arts. And if you follow my channel, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This video is sparked from an email I got asking if I teach women's self-defense. I thought that would be an interesting video comparing women's self-defense to women training in martial arts in general, and why one would be better than the other, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly, or what have you, the whole nine yards. And first let me premise, I, again, am just some dude on the internet. Take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. You make your own decisions. Do not follow somebody on the internet that you've never met or trained with before. That being said, I have never taught specifically women's self-defense classes. I have had female martial arts students that I train with as partners, as training partners, as students, and what have you. And some of them you may have even seen in the videos that I've put out in the past. I am absolutely not against women's self-defense classes as long as it is being pushed for the proper reasons. Now, a lot of schools that, let's say an MMA school, I'll use that as a premise, or any martial arts school really, but you might see that with an MMA school, or even I've seen it in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, because these are more sport-oriented schools. MMA is definitely very applicable type training for self-defense, but it is a sport and there's rules and different concepts and tactics that you would use training MMA versus self-defense. And very much the same idea with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even more so because, most modern Jiu-Jitsu schools, grappling only. They don't learn to defend against punching or kicking. There's absolutely old school Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and yada yada. You absolutely get the idea. But I'm saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in general is very sport. So their school might bring in an expert, or they have an instructor who's, got a background teaching regular martial arts, defending against striking and what have you, and incorporate self-defense classes. Sometimes it's just to get women in the door, and so they can get them on the mat training martial arts. And I think that's terrific. For some reason, especially in the grappling martial arts, and if you're a female and you want to learn how to defend yourself, you absolutely shouldn't concentrate just on striking. You need to be comfortable in that clinch range, and you need to be comfortable down on the ground on the mat, because very realistically, you could end up on the ground, and you need to learn how to defend yourself. And absolutely, you can. I've had my ass handed to me on the mat by smaller, lighter females that, destroyed me because they've been doing jiu-jitsu for years and they're amazing jiu-jitsu practitioners, and they just, armbar me, leg lock me, choke me at will, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. So it's absolutely a great thing to train, is grappling on the mat. But it's clearly not the only thing you need to know. In fact, in a self-defense situation, going to the ground is a poor idea if you have the choice. And let me premise that with, you don't always get to choose where the fight happens. And I'm going to say, and I hope you know this, there's so much more to self-defense in general than just the physical fighting, the kicking, punching, striking, elbows, knees, headbutts. You get the idea. Grappling, the physical aspects of the martial arts is, everything else has failed. Your situational awareness, the kind of situations that you put yourself in, knowing your surroundings, blah, 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 blah. Self-defense is a huge world. And the physical training of self-defense that you get from a martial arts school is just one small aspect of that. But I suspect that's generally what people are asking about. Somebody attacks you and you defend yourself. So a lot of these self-defense classes or even courses, I'm not a big fan of just a single class. I mean, I get the idea, and it's great. You get somebody in your class that might be interested in training, and they're kind of nervous because they've never been in that situation before, especially females a lot of times in grappling situations. They've never been on the ground with strangers grappling around. Grappling is very intimate. You don't know somebody's name, and then you're sweating on them, like right up in their shiznit, and they're in your shiznit. Grappling is very personal, very intimate situation, and it makes everybody nervous, not just women when they're new to it. But I definitely get why women are even more hesitant. And if you're talking about somebody who's like a survivor of like a violent attack or other issues, that is an emotional issue for them. They have to get past. And I can tell you that martial arts in general is a great way to help getting over that kind of situation or background. But that's a different video altogether. So I won't be discussing much of that in this video. But long story short, I'm a big fan of women's self-defense classes or courses, as long as it's encouraged that you know and understand that this 8-hour course or even this 8-week course isn't going to make you a master. It can make you proficient in some basic stuff. An 8-week course, definitely not an 8-hour course. 8-hour course should be just, skimming the surface and making you aware of what you need to be aware of, let alone teaching you anything. An 8-week course, you could definitely, I'm thinking of like a level 1 Krav Maga, yellow belt level in Krav Maga, or if you don't use belts in your Krav Maga school, your level 1 Krav type scenarios. That's a great way to get started and get somebody hooked and into the lifestyle, and then you go from there. As far as women training in general, it has been my experience that women tend to pick stuff up quicker than guys in general. I think it's because it's a lack of testosterone, a lack of that machismo thing going on. I'm not saying that, it's true of all women or all guys. I'm not saying that for a second. But generally speaking, it's been my experience training with women. They pick things up quicker. I think they tend to be deeper thinkers, ask good questions. I've trained with guys who ask great questions. That's neither here or there. But I think you know what I'm saying. If you're a martial arts instructor or a control tactics or combatives instructor, I think you probably understand what I'm saying. I also find it's interesting that a lot of like MMA schools or Jujitsu schools, you might find like big, strong, athletic dudes that are, very athletic, probably didn't need to be training self-defense in the first place. But the soccer mom or somebody like that, absolutely, it's good for them. And it's fun, too. It's just fun. It turns into an addictive lifestyle. You know what I mean if you train any martial art. So to answer any question about, do I think it's a great idea? Absolutely. As long as you take it in context and know and understand that that should be the beginning of your journey, definitely not an end. I don't think you can learn anything in an 8-hour course other than if it's a course about, awareness of your surroundings and different tools and ideas and concepts and building a lifestyle change, that kind of thing. Sure. The physical techniques, unless you're already a martial artist, an 8-hour course, don't think you're going to get anything. And most courses aren't going to be 8 hours. They're going to be like a 2, 3, 4-hour course. An 8-hour day, that's a long day, unless you're in the military or something like that. Sure, that might happen. And on that note, it's a very different world between what I teach, control tactics and combatives for law enforcement, and definitely something like military combatives is a different world. Can you learn from that stuff and apply it to civilian martial arts and civilian self-defense? Absolutely. There's definitely crossover, but 2 different animals. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Thank you again for subscribing to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. And everybody take care and stay safe.
So, Giles, got anything that could make this day any worse?
How about the end of the world?
Knew I could count on you.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.